Today, I'm going to take you from the morning of, what it's like waking up with two small children and kind of getting our lives together, all the way through the setup, the actual instruction, the cleanup, the breakdown, and everything in between. If you haven't already subscribed to The Art of Education on YouTube, go ahead and do that now, and then be sure to like this video. Are you ready? Let's go. Good morning. It's like 5:15. I am going to drink my coffee. I'm going to write my gratitude list, or sometimes I'll journal. And then when I'm done doing my gratitude, I'm gonna head to the gym. I try to rotate between going to the gym in the mornings before my kids wake up, or drawing or painting in my sketchbook in the mornings. And today is a go to the gym day. All right, my workout is done. I'm heading home to wake up my children and get them ready to head out to school. This is real life. This is the bag situation. But yeah, just trying to get our lives together and get the show on the road in the morning. Hey art teachers, my name is Kaitlyn Edington and I am an art educator in the Pittsburgh area. I taught elementary art for 15 years and loved so much of my job. But I recently stepped away and entered a new chapter in my life where I am now starting to teach art workshops, dabbling a little bit in online teaching, and then most importantly, getting to spend more time with my family and explore all kinds of other creative endeavors. So today, I want to take you along with me as I prepare for one of my adult art workshops. So I kind of stumbled into this workshop, if I'm being fully transparent. So I had this photo of my child that I took last year where she just, it's her little silhouette, her perfect little nose and her little bun in her hair. And I just knew I loved this photo. And then I eventually wanted to draw it or paint it or display it or something. I just started thinking about, my daughter's 3.5 now, how much she has grown and changed. So I decided to apply one of my favorite subject matters, which is houseplants. That's like my comfort zone. It just is something that I lean on. The wild thing is I had no expectations going into it. I'm not even thinking, I just went ahead and shared it on Instagram, and I had a lot of interest immediately about doing similar paintings for other people's children. So I started to think, how can I break this down so that other people, other moms, other women can feel empowered to and proud of themselves to know that they actually created it on their own. So that's when I started to develop my actual workshop and really kind of brainstorming the steps and skills and tips and tricks. And that's kind of how this growth mindset workshop came to fruition. Okay, so this is my little studio space that I teach my classes in. It is a co-working space that is not mine, unfortunately, but it is a nice kind of communal area where I can have a small group when I have my classes. Now, because this is also used for conferences and meetings and things during the work week, I did purchase my own chairs that I keep stored in that closet over there. I take these away and then I bring out my own. Okay, so this is the door that you come in when you enter my little co-working space studio. We have this nice big window where I have a lot of my plants. When I have my workshops, I do put up a few of my own visuals on this wall. I have this really great There Are Artists Among Us tapestry that I love to hang. There are some beautiful built-ins that I have some of my own books and classroom things. I have some of the art projects that I teach there. Unfortunately, this TV, no matter how many times I try to get it to work, does not work. So I have to modify and adjust. Some advice that I do want to give before setting up a workshop is to definitely do a trial run with either close family or friends, or even colleagues or coworkers, because those are the people that are going to give you the most honest feedback. You can ask them, would you be more comfortable doing X, Y, Z? How did you feel about this? You're just going to get some really, really great feedback, and it's going to help better prepare you for when you're doing the real deal. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of getting all my visuals ready for this evening. I was assembling my little packets of my greenery guides that each attendee gets. It's made up of 3 pages currently, but I do need a 4th of this page. and I only have 3 left. So this is my original. I kind of keep a stack of my original paintings for my guide. Depending on how much printer ink I have at home, I can either scan it and print it at home, but I might be making a trip to Staples. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get all the colors, the paints that I use, and organize them and sort them in this little bin. So I'll be ready to go for when I load up their palettes right before they come to class. So a little hack that I have come up with for myself is having a cart that has everything I could possibly need for my workshop on it. In the workshop that I'm currently teaching, I need 2 different size round brushes. So I have my finer brushes and my larger round brushes. I have the colored pencils that we use. We do a rubbing, so I have the pencils that we're gonna use. I also have the stickers that I give to all the attendees. I also provide them with examples of other attendees' work so that they're not running out of ideas and they can look at other people's work. I have several of these, several different examples that I leave on the table. I have my speaker that I take out. I have a wine bottle opener for anybody who brings their own adult beverages. I have extra paper of the papers that we used for this project. I have a very lovely folder that I made out of ripped paper with all of my project examples that I also display and kind of put around. And I also have several that are, just like any other art teacher, in progress, so they can see kind of the progression of the project. And then on the bottom here, I just have also all the paints that I use. I also usually have the palettes and then some pens that we use. I also have my projector right next to it, which I set up for my kind of demo area. So it's all kind of just right here. Another piece of advice that I would like to share is make sure that you know what your time and your talent and your knowledge are worth. As teachers, we are so used to doing so many things, out of the kindness of our own hearts, just because we want to help and we want to share. However, that kind of stuff takes a lot of time, and sometimes our generosity can be taken advantage of. Make sure that you know what value you have and how to charge appropriately. This is definitely something that I struggle with. So it also helps to have people in your corner who are maybe not in education to help bounce around ideas in terms of pricing. And don't forget to factor in the cost of a space if you're paying for rent, materials that you're purchasing, and also, your time and your knowledge. So again, this is the before, and then you'll see in my time lapse the after. And then next, this is our little kitchenette area, which is great. And then this is the door to my little studio space that I share with my husband. When we first started renting this space, there were a bunch of cubicles actually throughout it. So we asked if we could kind of remove those and break it down. So there was a cubicle in here. I was able to install some wallpaper. We put some open shelving, and then these are some storage drawers. Basically storage for art supplies, paper, materials, things that I might need for classes or when creating resources. And some of it's also just kind of a hot mess. And then of course I like to have some of my own art around as well. So I do love this because it allows me to have a nice little space where I can store a lot of my supplies, not everything of course. I personally love being able to store materials in clear acrylic bins. I use a lot of jars to store paintbrushes or for my water cups. Up top I have some timber paint, some paper, and then just random bins and things that also came from my classroom. I have my drawing guides that I plan on really using more when I start running kids classes and workshops. I'm just not there yet. So when I do my workshops, I do also like to bring out many of my own visuals. So this is a color wheel that I have in my TPT store. I also have some of my famous artists. If I had my own set space, I would absolutely love to have these framed and really take over maybe that front wall when you walk in, but unfortunately, again, it's not mine, as my husband has to keep reminding me. Like I said, I really try to keep my desk with minimal things on it before I leave. I take my computer with me, so that's pretty easy. But regarding art supplies and displays, I have really gotten into
I blame the home edit, displaying as many art supplies as possible, but making sure that they are visually appealing.
All right, so I got Rowan here filling up glasses, and I'm gonna start working on the table centerpiece and a floral arrangement. I'm lucky to have my helper here today. All right, so one of my favorite things I like to do for my workshops is I like to have fresh greenery and plants. I love eucalyptus. Thank you, Trader Joe's. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down and make some little votives for the table. You know, one of my biggest takeaways for the students that have been attending my workshops is I just want everyone, from whether you're 2 or you're 92, to know that they possess the ability to create, especially when they are really searching for an outlet and they feel that void in their life. I want my students to know that it's never too late to start making something, to try something new. They can muster up the confidence to create on a regular basis, because adulting is hard, momming is hard, all the things, and adults deserve to have that creative outlet and that access to art the same way that our children do in schools. You know, one of the biggest challenges I think that I have been facing in these adult workshops is really trying to build the confidence of these adults to try something new. You know, kids are pretty willing to just go for it and try things. Some of them might give some pushback. Most of the adults who attend my workshops have no artistic background, but they have the interest, or else they wouldn't be there. But they can be very self-deprecating. So the challenge for me has been to help build their confidence and build their self-esteem, and to not worry about what, you know, society deems as being good for artists, and for them just to enjoy the process, and whatever is created at the end of the workshop as an end result is just a bonus. The magic is in the making and not in the final product. So one thing I definitely try to do at the end of my workday is clear everything off of my desk. I'm a big Post-it person of things I need to do. Throw away the Post-its of things I completed, so that I am walking in the next morning with a nice clean workspace. All right, y'all, so I am just about to set up some of my technology, which is always the worst part of my job. Pray for me. We're in the home stretch though, ready for our guests to arrive. What we're gonna do is you basically take the brush and you kind of pull it from the bottom. And what I always recommend is like spinning it while you're doing it. And what that's doing is it's basically loading the paint all the way around on the bristles, versus just taking it and having it on one side and then it not coming out nice and smoothly. Now, honestly, a lot of this practice is just getting the right proportion of water to paint. So if I push my brush down and then slowly lift it up, do you see how it goes from thick to thin? My workshop is over. The last attendees just left. All I have to do now is do cleanup, and then I'm gonna be heading out and head home to my own family. The biggest lesson that I've learned through this endeavor has definitely been patience. I am definitely a kind of person that I get really excited about things I'm super passionate about. I just want to do it all right now. And I am now having to just take baby steps. I have big hopes and dreams for art lessons and workshops and a studio and all these things down the road. But for right now, I'm having a difficult time just kind of taking it in baby steps and doing one thing at a time, which is definitely the safest, smartest way. But I am really having to be okay with delayed gratification and realize that my future goals and dreams are not gonna happen overnight, and there's something to look forward to, and I just have to keep chugging along so that I can make the life that I want. All right, y'all, that is a wrap on my episode of A Day in the Life of an Art Teacher who teaches art, but in a
non-traditional setting. I hope that you have enjoyed coming along with me as I have set up for my art lesson, instructed, broke down all the things, and I hope that it's encouraged you, if you feel a desire to teach outside of a traditional setting, that you are feeling inspired and encouraged to just go for it. You have nothing to lose. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you're subscribed to The Art of Ed on YouTube. And if you liked this video, give it a little like. And I hope to be able to see you soon. Thanks for joining me.